So if you do live in the town of Herndon, please come see me. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Howard, who kind of orchestrated this celebration for us.
We don't even have to count.
Hey, Howard!
Thank you. Thank you so much. I tell you, this really tugs at my heart to see the great interest here from everybody. About 1 month ago, Annabelle Park, who's going to be here later, and Eric posted something on Facebook about a coffee club to sort of maybe be the antidote to the Tea Party. And Sally and I said, well, let's check it out. We went down to D.C. There were 8 people or 9 people there at that time, and we were the entire coffee club. And we were perhaps number 50 or something like that. Well, as the word spread around, things started to happen on Facebook, and it's just amazing what's happened here. And you know, today when I was driving here, it just occurred to me why I like this so much. I mean, and I want to make sure I got this right. This is not we against them. This is really we. We the people who are going to work together in a civil manner, not the way some others do. And I really think we can do this. And I think we have a lot in common. We're not all the same. We're for diversity. We're nonpartisan. And I just think everybody's been so excited by this whole concept. Of course, it helped that Annabelle was interviewed by the Washington Post on Friday. And I think at that time there were about 900 Facebook fans.
It was 9,000.
It was 9,000 then?
Yeah,
okay.
really?
But when I left this morning, 2 hours ago, it was 39,600. Thank you, sir.
Is that right?
It was. 38 has kind of rubbed off here. Whatever is it, phenomenal. I want to thank everybody, and I want to tell you a little. Well, Eric is the co-founder. He's also a filmmaker, and this film is really, really relevant to what we're doing because a lot of what's happened in Prince William County is happening right here in Herndon, and the feelings that are generated. And I know one of the things that Annabelle and Eric are trying to do is to give us a feeling that we should not be so confrontational. We have to be calm. And I want you to pay attention, because in the first, 3 minutes, Annabelle is able to defuse a really angry person in Prince William County. I don't think I could do that. I would have to do a Franz Kafka kind of a thing. But we're going to try. So I want to welcome you all. We're going to, after the film, we're going to break off into groups, and we're going to talk about what are our objectives and where we go from here. And I want to introduce you now to Eric Byler, who is the co-founder and the filmmaker. Thank you for coming.
Okay. So the movie kind of speaks for itself, but the reason why we're watching it is not just because we made it. It's because Annabelle and I think, felt that we were called to play a similar role for the national political climate that we played in this movie and in this story of Prince William County. And I think that when you meet Annabelle, you'll see that she has a perspective that's very unique, and I think it can add something to our political discourse. Annabelle was born in South Korea, and in the first 10 years of her life, she lived under a military dictatorship because there had been a civil war. And she came to the United States, she moved to Texas, and she became, quite good at English, even though they screamed at her to go home and to speak English. You know, it was when she first arrived, that was her greeting. Went to Oxford to study political theory. And one of her many really illuminating theories is that people never truly heal from the Civil War. They haven't healed in this country from our Civil War. They certainly haven't in Korea. And that we are basically at the cusp of moving beyond this period of our history where the issues that divided us during the Civil War can be relived and replayed for the purposes of our electoral process, right? right? And so there are politicians and political strategists who try to use those same divisions to make our political process so ugly that it shrinks the electorate and less people participate. And that's something you'll see in this movie when there was a climate of racial division in our county. I think some of you who are from Herndon have experienced it right in your own town. It's a political tactic and it can be effective, but when people are willing to gather, like we're gathered here today, that tactic can collapse upon itself very quickly. And that's something you'll see in this film. There was a meeting like this on April 4th of 2008, and before the month was over, April 29th, 2008, a very, very important political change was made that was much, much better for the county. So I hope you enjoy this movie, Cesar. And then afterwards, this is what we want to do. We're going to break into 3 groups. We're going to have people who live in Herndon in one group. And then we're going to have 2 groups that will be divided geographically from wherever else you're from. And I guess we have mostly Northern Virginians, right? Okay. And then lastly, Alan Alborn is here from Prince William County. He's in the movie briefly, and he's actually in 2 of our YouTube videos that we've already began with at youtube.com/coffeepartyusa. And he is the founder of our Manassas
Actually, Prince William County.
Oh, Prince William County Coffee Party chapter. And he will be leading one of the sessions. Annabelle and I will lead the other 2 when we break after watching the film. Okay? Do you want to say something?
No,
Oh, do you have a question?
no, we're